Hello and welcome to the Big Golf Monthly driver test for 2015. I'm here to talk you through the Nike range. A few features that you're going to see across the range are this channel in here that's just behind the face. Now you'll see this in quite a few other places within the driver market in 2015, and ultimately this is designed to do two things. Firstly, just to add a little bit of speed to the face so that you get that little bit of flex at impact to get that speed up. But also, importantly, what it does is as it makes contact with the ball, the face sort of almost holds onto the golf ball for a little bit longer, and you just get that little bit less spin. Now, less spin with the right other launch conditions should mean that you get a little bit more distance. So that should work. It doesn't matter if you're a high handicapper or a low handicapper, as long as the other launch conditions are right, that should mean you get a little bit overall distance. Now, something you'll notice with the Nike range in particular that you won't see elsewhere is something called fly brace technology, sort of stabilizing bars into the back of the head, and that just sort of stabilizes the strike a bit and should help the driver sort of feel a little bit more solid. There are three in Nike's Vapor range, and the first is the speed that I've got here. Now this is really designed to help people get that launch angle up a little bit, help people with a little bit of forgiveness on mishits around the face. So really not designed necessarily for the really low handicapper, but one that a lot of players will be able to pick up off the shelf and should be able to get a good amount of performance from. Next up, we have the Pro. Now this is the version of the driver that Rory's currently using. So this is a little bit smaller. This has a sort of black face, black crown combo, which makes the sort of whole footprint of the head just look and feel that little bit smaller, and it should be a little bit lower spinning than the speed version of the driver, so ultimately designed a little bit more for those who are able to generate a bit more club head speed. And finally in the range, and it's a little bit more expensive, is the Flex version. Now if you are somebody that struggles with your spin characteristics impact, in particular that you're getting too much spin, this is designed to help you with that. Now essentially what you have in here is a little pod that goes into the back of the head. It's sort of the size of a battery, and what happens is one end is slightly heavier than the other, and you can move the centre of gravity forward or back depending on what sort of spin characteristics you want to get. Now this is all something that you're going to want to go through with a fitter. I don't think you'd want to just run through the whole process on your own to find what was right, because it would be very confusing and you might end up with something that ultimately meant that you were hitting the ball worse than when you started. But in the right hands, with all the three drivers in the range, but particularly with the Flex, you should be able to find something that really suits your game, especially if you're a faster swinger. Now, one other point I'm keen to make about this driver is the way in which they dealt with the looks for 2015. So last year we were used to seeing Nike using the Victory Red colour. So behind the ball you'd have the red crown, and that did look good, but what they've done this year is they've decided to rein it in, be a little bit more traditional with the look, and use their sort of bolder colours for accenting that kind of modern look. So you can see the Nike swoosh here in the heel, and the shelf appeal is obviously quite extreme. Certainly you see a lot of technology when you pick it up off the shelf, and that colour really brings it out. It's maybe not something that's going to appeal to everybody out there in the market, but in terms of having something that has a shelf appeal that's going to stand out, this really does work. Now my one major criticism of this golf club is the grip. For me, it would come straight off. I'd want to put a normal Golf Pride grip on, probably a Tour Velvet onto it, and get this off because I'd be worried about how it was going to perform in the wet. But I understand that some people really like this grip, so it's going to be down to what you like and what you like the feel of. But in terms of the numbers, for me, my best performing driver of the three was certainly the Pro. I was able to get really good launch, and it was up there in distance with everything else that I hit on the driver test 2015. So I'd be more than happy to be fitted into one of the new Nike drivers. I think there's really loads and loads of technology packed in, plenty of performance, and they've also managed to pack in quite a good amount of forgiveness into their drivers, something that is really well done, and I think they've done it in a head that looks really modern but somehow still quite classic. So a great effort from Nike for 2015, well worth a try.